Hello, our lesson today is about reproduction in birds. It's for grade 7. We will start with remembering certain information that we took about the chapter of reproduction. First of all, we took that reproduction is important for the continuity of life, and so all living things, they can continue their life normally through their life cycle, and then at the end they will reproduce to give new offsprings. In sexual reproduction, sperm and ovule, they must meet to produce offspring similar to its parents. We have to remember that we took or we studied two kinds of reproduction, sexual and asexual. You can review this video on my channel. And we also studied the differences between them. Now in this lesson, we are only interested in the sexual reproduction because already birds reproduce sexually and they reproduce by laying eggs. And this is a picture to remind you that sexual reproduction, it needs the presence of both sex cells, the sperm, which is the male sex cell, and the ovule, which is the female sex cell. When they meet, they produce one cell, which is called fertilized egg. This fertilized egg, it develops until it is a complete living thing. Now let's start with our lesson. At the beginning, we are going to study the chicken egg. What does it include? What is chicken egg made up of? And what are the ingredients of chicken egg? We will start with the first activity. First, we brought an oval egg, which is the egg of chicken. As you can see, we studied it using the lens, and you can see that it has these dots on the egg. These, they are the pores found on the egg. And they are not just dots, they are pores. It means they are opening found on the shell of the egg. First of all, indicate the role of the pores. By the lens, we see the pores. So what is the role of pores? Why we have pores on the egg? Because they allow the air to enter the egg. So since they are opening, that means the air can enter inside the egg so that the baby inside the egg can breathe and respire. Finally, we break the egg and all the components, they fall down. So as you can see, we have two components. We have two nutritive materials inside the egg. We have the yellow part, which is called the egg yolk, and the white part, which is the egg, the egg white. Now the question is, pick out, according to this picture, name the nutritive materials inside the egg. Name them, so we will pick them from the picture. They are egg yolk, which is the yellow part of the egg, and the egg white, which is, as you can see, the white color. Then we continue with studying the egg, but this time we have a small passage telling us that the egg yolk is rich in proteins and egg white is rich in fat. So here they are giving us the ingredient of every part. So we can ask ourselves to compare the ingredients of egg yolk and egg white. Yani say the difference between their ingredients. So the answer would be egg yolk is rich in proteins, while don't forget the connector, which indicates that we are talking about difference. While egg white is rich in fats, we cannot say and, because and we write it when we talk about both. What do they have in similarity? So here I just pick out from the passage the components, okay? We still with the same question, because it is two parts, A and B. A was about the difference between the ingredients. Now B explained the importance of these ingredients. Why do chicken eggs have these two nutritive materials? So proteins and fats, they are important for the nutrition of the baby bird, so it grows and develops. So they are good for nutrition. Either if I have a baby inside the egg, so it will grow on them by taking them and feeding on them. And if we took it as a human and cook it, also it will be for our nutrition. But because our lesson is about the reproduction of birds, so we will relate our answer to the reproduction of birds. So they are important for the nutrition of the baby inside the egg. Also, we continue with the same activity. In this activity, we brought an egg and we put it and we dip it in a vinegar. Also, at the same time, we brought a chalk, a piece of chalk, and we also mix it with vinegar. And also, they give us an important information telling us that that chalk here, remember chalk, it's the one that we use it on the board, okay, طباشير يعني. So chalk, they have calcium carbonate. So this is the ingredient of the chalk. Now, when we dip both matter, the shell of the egg or the egg with its shell and the chalk, let's see what do they give us. If you look at the picture, they ask us write your observation. So what do we observe? Look at the picture here. In the first one, when we put the eggshell, we have bubbles of gases. And also at the same time here, we have bubbles of gas. So our observation will be bubble of gas or bubbles of gas are produced. At the same time, carbon dioxide is liberated. So these bubbles of gas, they are for the carbon dioxide that was liberated in both beakers or in both containers. Okay? Type. Deduce the kind of substance that shell is made of. Deduce, it means what do you conclude? When I put both objects, the egg shell and that chalk, and both they give me the same observation. You know, I have bubbles of carbon dioxide. So I can deduce that the egg shell and that chalk, they have the same component, which is made of calcium carbonate. Okay, how I deduce this? Because already in that shot they give me information and it has calcium carbonate, and since both they give me the same products, which is carbon dioxide, so both they have the same ingredient. Okay, you have to pay attention to the information out of the tips that they give it to us, because they will help us to conclude, to explain, or to justify. They will not give any information just for writing it. We still with the same, and also with the same part of the experiment when we dip the eggshell and the chalk in vinegar. Now the question is, formulate a hypothesis about the role of eggshell. Formulate a hypothesis, it means according to the observation and the conclusion that we had, what we can say about the role of the eggshell in general. Okay, starting from the beginning when we studied the pores until we dip it in vinegar. So here we can say that eggshell has pores that allow air to pass through to the inside. Beside this, the shell is hard, consisting of calcium carbonate for protection. So calcium carbonate is hard. That's why the eggshell is hard. So this hardness, it comes from the calcium carbonate type. Why should an eggshell, why should it be hard? So to protect the inner component. The inner component, it can be a baby, the nutritive materials, so to protect the egg in general. Let's continue now. Phases of reproduction. We studied the eggs that are laid by birds in general, either they are chicken or just birds. Now we are going to study how do birds reproduce. At the beginning of the video, we said that birds, they reproduce sexually. So sexually means they need the presence of both a male and a female. So here I have the hen and here I have the rooster. The rooster is the male, the hen is the female. Okay, so the first step is the meeting of both parents. The second step, when they meet, fertilization occurs. So when they meet, that means the cell from the hen, which is the ovule, and the cell from the rooster, which is the sperm, they will join together. This joining is called fertilization, and as a result, one cell is produced, which is the fertilized egg. Now, this fertilized egg, later on, it will store all the nutritive materials that we talk about them, which are the egg yolk and the egg white, having the proteins and the fats. And when it is ready, the chicken will lay this egg into the nest or into the coop. Okay, so these are the steps until the eggs are laid. وطبعا chicken, they don't lay only one egg, they lay many eggs. طيب after laying, what happened? Does the chicken leave them alone? Sure not. It's a caring animal, so it will take care of its animal. طيب how? Of its baby. How? And they are inside the egg because it will make a process that is called incubation. Incubation, as you can see from the picture, when the chicken sits on its eggs and the duration is 21 days. So as you can see, the chicken remains sitting on its eggs for 21 days. Look at the picture carefully. The chicken here, it spreads all of its body and all of its feathers and wings on the eggs. Why do you think this happened? So that it can warm them. It gives them warmth, and and also it protects them. Okay, so incubation is very important, and all birds they incubate, but the duration differs between birds according to their kinds. As for the chicken, it's only 21 days. طيب, the chicken incubates. But what is happening inside the eggs? So I will show you stages of development of the fetus in different periods. At the beginning, I will show you two pictures. The first one is for the fetus, which is the baby of the bird, or of the chicken, at 4 days. So this baby, the one that you see it inside, its age is 4 years, 4 days old. And as you can see, we can see clearly the head here, the body, and also the tail. We can see the egg yolk here that starts to decrease or to diminish or to become less because the baby is using it for nutrition, and so it grows. Okay, and also you have here a tube. This tube, it comes from the abdomen and it transmits the blood from and to the heart. So it's for the circulation of the blood, so can all the body have the nutrition and the oxygen that enters through the pores. The second picture shows you the fetus, but this time it is at 17 days old. So it's at the end of the incubation, at the last days of the incubation. As you can see, it is almost complete. Here I have the beak, here I have the head, here is the neck, here are the wings, and it is almost complete. The egg yolk, it starts to be smaller and smaller, and also the feathers on the body, they start to appear. But finally, at 21 days, the chick is ready to go out, so it starts to break the eggshell by its beak, and so it will go out as a complete chick, and also it will continue its life outside by growing day after day until it is a complete hen or a complete rooster, and then the life cycle will be repeated because it will be an adult, and this adult, it will reproduce again, repeating all the stages that we talked about. So this video, it was about the reproduction of birds, showing the steps and also showing the stages of the development at different days. If you like my video, please don't forget to like it and to subscribe to my channel so new videos, they can reach you, and also wait for the next video because it will be extra exercises about this lesson. Thank you.